back kind of mellowed out all of a sudden.
Yeah.
After Juliana called you out.
Well, yeah, listen.
That's why he really.
I just want, if she's still listening,
She
was on
she
your
may be.
side.
She may be.
I was on your side.
Is that why you wear the glasses? Because like with the old adage, like, oh, she won't hit me because I have glasses on.
For sure, you don't hit somebody with glasses on.
Why? Why is that a rule?
Rude.
Why is that a rule? Is that an unwritten rule in life? You can't hit somebody with glasses on?
Yeah. You can't hit somebody with glasses on. You can't hit somebody who's not looking at you.
Can you get somebody? Can you shoot someone in the back?
No, you can't do that either.
So you have to be like honorable. You have to like do like
Yeah.
the 10 paces,
Like,
turn
hey,
around,
man.
the first one to shoot.
Hey man,
Take your
I'm gonna beat
glasses
you
off.
up. Take your glasses off. and Let's fight.
Turn around and take your glasses off.
You
and
know,
I'll punch you in the head.
girls take their earrings off before they fight.
Oh, they do.
You know what I mean?
But there's
Like, it's a respect
There's
thing.
a courtesy. Like they're disrobed. They're like,
It's
oh,
an
I gotta
unwritten rule.
gotta take my
Glasses
shoes
are
off.
expensive. Why are you gonna break the glasses too? Like, come on.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I'm not getting in the middle of that one.
On Bonanza, how'd you guys settle things in the West?
But I've already reached out to Juliana, and we're going to try to get you and her. I would do it. I mean, not to throw punches.
Yeah.
But I would grapple with
I'll
her.
grapple
and
with
stuff.
her for sure.
Matter of fact, I'm going to invite her down to the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
And I know she has first class, but I'm going to try to hook her up a little bit with David Vieira.
I'm down.
I saw Ric Flair was grappling with Juliana Pena in a recent photo.
I love that he's so active, but I've seen a video of him doing wrestling stuff. It looks painful.
Well, it's soft. The mat isn't hard like it's not like a
but
ground.
Is it painful to watch, or is it painful to watch because you've seen him, obviously being who he is? Some say the greatest of all time. It's so different.
Both. I say both. Even like I would watch the Dirk Nowitzki documentary, and you go watch him in year 10 and 12, and then watch him in year 19 and 20.
Sure.
He couldn't move, and he said that he was like, it was painful to run up and down the court, and you can see that it's painful to run up and down the court because I see guys in the NFL like he has a quick burst and everything, and then you see him in year 14 and 12, and it's like rickety, and like I feel what you feel because I can see that it hurts what you're doing, hurts your body.
So with that being said, like football came from the gridiron, the grass fields, but now there's turf and there's different surfaces. Do you prefer which one? Like, is there one that's less painful? Is there one that feels better?
When I was younger, I love turf because it's fast.
Is it
You can get across.
softer because of the little
It's
rubber
not softer.
pellets?
No, it's not softer. Turf is harder. So when I was younger, I loved turf. You don't get, because the grass is, you never know. It's inconsistent. Some people have higher grass, some people have lower grass. Muddy, you get slippery, all these different things. Turf, you know what you're going to get. By like year 4 in the NFL, if I play on turf, practice on turf, knees, hips, ankles are going to hurt for 3-4 days. Because there's no give. Like it's literally concrete and there's
So would that be
turf and then rubber pellets.
Would that be something you would consider, like if you were going to go to a team or extend a contract based on like how many home games you would have? Would it prolong your career if you played in different arenas versus?
Yeah, if you look at older players, they never go to Green Bay and they never go to Minnesota. Minnesota's indoor, but like they don't go to Chicago. They go to Tampa and they go to Miami and they go to California because it's warm weather. Less issues with that stuff. There's not a lot of rain. Where Florida there is, but like they want to go to better weather, better conditions. And turf has its pros and cons. If you play in a dome, less weather inclements, but you understand you have to play on a turf field. Hey coach, I need a break on Wednesday. I'm not practicing on Wednesday. And you see that all the time with older guys, and like they find a way to take care of you.
I thought it was just because Florida's where people retire. Arizona.
No,
They're
no
like,
state
once
taxes.
once I get done playing.
No state tax. So this is like what I don't feel like people don't understand this. Entertainment tax is 46%. If you add state tax on top of that, if you're in California and it's 12%, you're giving over half your check away.
Wow.
So somebody makes $1 million, they end up with $400,000.
What people don't realize, and I think we have addressed this before, you could be playing here in Florida. Say you're playing for the Bucks, okay, and then you go to California. You are taxed on that game.
Yes. California
so
tax.
When the Buccaneers went to the Super Bowl in San Diego, they were taxed for playing in California.
Yes.
So, yes, you're saving, half the time because you're playing in Florida or wherever, but you are paying the taxes of the state where you are playing.
What
money
if you play in London? What if the game is in
However they tax you, you're getting taxed.
tax you in the euro or in a different currency?
I mean, they'll convert it for you. They're good at that. They're good at that. They're gonna get their money either way.
They might not convert on third down, but they'll convert your taxes.
It's the most sickening thing when you see your check and they always break it down like what they took out and anything like that. And they'd be like, "Oh, you were supposed to make 60,000 this week," and then you look down and it says 19.2. Like, how did you get to this number? How did you take all this away?
So a rumor came out on social media today
Okay,
that they will be announcing Ngannou versus Jones very shortly.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's a great fight.
Hey, listen, the UFC has been on a roll with announcing fights. Oliveira and Islam.
Did you see what
Diaz.
Oliveira said? Did you
No.
see what he said?
No, what did he say?
He's willing to start the fight on the ground. He goes, I'm not scared to go to the ground with him. I'll start the fight on the ground.
You know what mind blows me? Somebody can go out and defend their championship and win and beat the people that are in front of them.
And they're the underdog?
Yeah, and people just can't wait. Like, oh, this is the guy that's going to beat him.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I used to be like that because I used to be like, oh, I didn't understand how hard it was to be a consecutive champion until I got to the NFL. And I'm like, I had a greater appreciation for Tom Brady and what he had done and going to 6 Super Bowls, winning 4. And I'm just like, I'm not betting against him. If he's in that big game, until he loses, I'll take a loss betting on Tom Brady.
I have a guy that I did the same thing. Every time Conor fought, he's going to lose this fight.
Yeah.
And every fight Conor won.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
just like, why? But people love to see the person on top go down.
Right.
But it's just so crazy to me. There's like, oh yeah, Israel hasn't lost to anybody at 185, but this is the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I'm just like, what makes you think that? Everybody hated on Oliveira. He's a quitter. He's this. And they say, oh, Gaethje's going to be the one. Or Chandler's going to be the one. And he just keeps winning. So up until he loses that belt,
sure.
I'm going to say he's going to win. John Jones has not lost a fight in his career. Up until he loses, I don't care if you put Francis, Stipe, anybody in there. I have not seen him lose yet.
Well,
I'm going with him.
I'm going to take that one step further. I'm not saying John Jones is going to win that fight because of that reason, because he hasn't lost. I think John Jones is going to win those fights.
Because he's a better fighter.
I think he's a better fighter.
I do too.
I think he beats Stipe very easily. And I think Ngannou is going to be a little more because of his knockout power. I think John takes him down, and I think John wins against either one of those guys.
I do too.
And I agree with you until he loses, betting on him and such. But I think he wins the fight fairly easily.
And then it's like, Islam hasn't been through the path that
Right.
Oliveira has. He hasn't fought the same guys that he has and beaten those guys, right? And he's fighting guys that are unranked or ranked 10th or whatever it is, and nothing against them, but I'm fighting the best that they have to offer for the last 2 years. You know, like Stylebender is fighting the best that this sport has to offer for the last 4 or 5 years, and he's beaten all of them. And they're just like, no, this is the guy. That's the one that's going to do it.
The one thing I want to throw
crazy.
out real quick is how much I respect Oliveira on how he handled all this.
Yes.
He could have whined, he could have said things, and he didn't. He didn't say anything.
No.
He hasn't said one word. He goes out, and now,
Yeah,
he
no,
continues
it's
on.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and I'm really I like him a lot as a person, from what I know from just watching him from afar, and almost more than I like him as a fighter. And I'm rooting for him.
Well, first off,
Here comes something stupid.
well, he doesn't have a translator, so we don't really know what he says.
How he carries himself.
Two, you're not a true champion until you defend your title.
He's done that.
And three, yeah, I mean,
But keep defending him to round me out.
John Jones lost to a DQ, which is the same thing as losing to a dislocated
not get
shoulder. It's a no contest.
No,
Wipe
it's
the
not the
slate
same
clear.
It's not an okay.
A
It's not the same
A
thing.
dequalification. There's only losses a disqualification.
He didn't lose.
but
he didn't get beat. Fine. He hasn't gotten beat.
You got beat by Matt Hamill, the Hammer.
No, he got beat by himself.
But I think
He didn't get beat.
an
I'll tell
injury
you
or
what,
a
I'm going to call it
disqualification.
a loss, and he's still the greatest of all time, and he's still going to beat Stipe and or Ngannou or both in the same night.
I think so too.
That's just silly.
One of the best quotes ever
Silly talk.
was John Jones in DC, and he said, "Yeah, DC, I had cocaine and hookers one weekend and yours the next."
It's
It's a
crazy.
great month.
And I think, even though you said the UFC's on a roll, and we didn't even talk about, that Diaz is
I do
coming
want to talk
back,
about
and
that. I do want to talk about that.
I still think they need John Jones.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. I think they do too. People he's just so spectacular. It's one of those things everyone wants to see Tom Brady kind of walk away because you want more parity. But it's just like, it's such a beautiful thing to watch greatness and to watch somebody who's at the top of their game for so long. And like, he's was champion when he was 23. You know what I mean? Like, and what is he now? 35, 36?
Who?
John Jones. You know what I mean? Like, that's a long time to be on top and to be doing it at this level. But
I was just going to say, do you think now it's safer for John Jones to go to, and I'm being serious, I'm not being sarcastic, for him to now go to Vegas? You know, because I'm saying, well, because his brother's there now.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those, I'm a big believer in knowing your demons and not putting yourself in position to
I understand
exercise
that.
those demons.
No, for sure. But you can get in the same trouble anywhere. I'm just saying now, with the brother being there,
Yeah.
I just think, like when I don't do anything when I go out of town, but I always say to my head, I'm out of town, I'm all by myself, I can do whatever.
Yeah.
Well, now you can't because your brother's there.
Yeah.
Your niece and nephew or whoever's in the family's there. So.
But what happens stays in Vegas, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
I'll tell you stories off air. But I don't think it's going to be
that's the whole reason to go to Vegas. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the return of John Jones.
Me neither. I'm going to be gassed.
That'll be the biggest
I'm gonna be
pay-per-view
juiced
they've
up.
ever had.
I will be at that fight.
I will too.
Well, take me with you.
No,
Yeah.
you're not going.
I'll get back.
Hopefully, the rumor is later in the year, and you'll be busy playing on a Sunday.
Yes, for
Oh.
sure. But, we can catch that quick little flight after the
In
game.
and out.
It's not going to start till midnight, so.
Brad Penny, who used to play for many teams, but he was with the Dodgers at the time, and he did it in New York too. So he pitched for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and there was a jet on the runway, and they hauled ass to the airport, and they got to Vegas before the main event.
Yeah.
Him and a couple Dodgers.
Deion Sanders used to play baseball and football on the same day.
I know
He
football.
did do
I know football players that play a game on Sunday, and fly to Vegas after the game, and have a good time in Vegas, and fly back before meetings on Tuesday.
Well, but that's
all the
still
time.
it's still
Like,
Tuesday. I
yeah,
mean,
sure.
here, whatever day it was. So it was
Same
Saturday.
night.
It would have had to been Saturday, and then he had to fly back. But again, when you have a jet on the runway,
Yeah.
you
You
know,
can do a lot of things.
It's-
A funny story. We're in college and we're doing college workouts. I went to school with P. Diddy's son and Snoop Dogg's son. P. Diddy's son. So there was like a NBA playoff game or something like that. The Knicks were playing. His dad was in New York. He's courtside at the Knicks game on Sunday night. The game ends like at midnight. We have workouts at 5:30 in the morning. So our strength coach had this whole thing, because we all saw him at courtside in the game.
Right.
Had this whole thing like, wow, you're gonna miss workouts and not be here in the morning. And so he had this elaborate plan to like kind of show like, this guy cares about himself, not the team, blah 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 blah. Little does he know, his dad is P. Diddy and he has a private jet.
Right.
So after the game was over, he hopped on his private jet, got to LA, and was at workouts on time early.
So he didn't even know that was his dad?
He knew it was his dad, but it just didn't
Didn't
register.
register, okay.
That like, I can do things that most people can't
Right.
do. And so he had his picture up on all the screens, like look at him at the game, and he doesn't care about the team, and he's like, I'm here. I'm doing workouts. The workouts, what are you talking about? It was really funny. It was really, really funny because he looked really dumb. And it was just like, hey, sometimes you just gotta let people do what they do.
I did that once, scalloping trip. I was in my limo. I had my chauffeur picked me up, drove me all the way to Homosassa. Was scalloping, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get the bacon inside the shell. Randy, if you have any tips on that. Well, I know you can't relate because you're not living the same lifestyle that
Yeah, I
pizza
want to know
guys.
how you got to go scalloping.
Because there's a limo guys.
You go scalloping. Caleb takes the fish I catch. I mean, I'm at the bottom of everything.
This if you caught.
We're trying to help you.
The one I speared.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Okay, but
We
that was
heard you have a fight. We heard you have a fight come up against Danny Bottaducci. So we're trying to help you with your weight cut.
what? I'm
Isn't it-
going to go see Danny.
Well, here's the thing. I think we should all fight people that look like us. Like, he should fight Anthony. What's his name?
Anderson.
Anderson. You should fight with the Twisties, and then you can fight
The Twisties.
and Danny Bottaducci, and I'll fight.
Also the clown.
Anthony Anderson may look big, but that's not a big
He's not.
That's
No,
not a big guy.
He's very short.
Very short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a big guy. He doesn't want the smoke. Great actor. I love his movies, real good, but he doesn't want this.
What movies has he been in?
A bunch.
Barbershop.
Yeah, he was in Barbershop. There was some that I can't remember the name of it.
I'm not
but I
being
watched
smart.
it.
I don't watch movies, so
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I
what he-
can't. Some old school ones. He was in Beverly Hills.
Cop.
No.
Hills.
Jeez,
I don't
with the white guy who acted like he was a rapper and
Oh, Malibu's Most Wanted.
Malibu's Wanted.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy. There we go.
Don't know any of it. All right, luckily, break time. Movie time, break time. Our final break of the afternoon. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.